in, all of this, these copies, all of these copies are checked out. But in a normal library catalog, you would not know that they have it in a sound recording, another edition, I don't even know what that edition is, and they have it in Spanish, right? So instantly you're providing more access. We have similar books. It's, It's, it may be unfamiliar to some librarians, but, patrons today are familiar with Amazon. They're familiar with other e-commerce sites. And the idea that the system will recommend books to you is just, it's for granted, And so here are some similar books in the Seattle Public Library. And then here are tags. What other books does the Seattle Public Library have that are about vampires, for example? It's only books in the Seattle Public. It's not going outside. Here's reviews. So as a patron, you can add a review, and there's a lot of them here. You also get reviews from other libraries that use this product, and you get 350,000 vetted reviews from LibraryThing itself. Lots of things to say about it. It works with most OPACs. There's all sorts of special features with it. It's really easy to install. I don't want to go into great detail, but if you're interested, talk to me. Here's one example. This is Palmerston North is using it. I think there's 4 or 5 New Zealand libraries and like 25 Australian, which is really good. Really good. Here is, so that's that. What does social cataloging mean for traditional cataloging? Teenagers in their underpants will be cataloging your books. People will be writing on the walls. The unwed birth rate will go up. Kittens will die. No. I think that traditional cataloging may change in some ways, and I think this new cataloging will horn its way in some ways. But, it's television and radio. I am an absolute defender of the value of structured metadata. I just don't think it's the only thing you should have. I think it is the end of intellectual structures rooted in the limitations of the physical world. I'm referencing a book here by David Weinberger, Everything is Miscellaneous, and I want to show you what I mean. A book has 3 to 6 subjects, okay? Why, right? Is it because God thinks books have 3 to 6 subjects? Is it because books are inherently only about that many things? No, it's because that's how many fit on a card, right? Subjects are equally valid. Well, that's also a card thing. How would you deal with that? How would you deal with better examples of love stories in a card catalog? Even to do it on a computer is a rather difficult thing. Subjects never change. You never go back and add a subject heading, mostly. Again, that's a descendant from printed cards. Only librarians get to add subjects. There is only one answer. Somebody wins, right? So, in Dewey, Sikhism is under the Islam heading, right? And that irritates some Sikhs, right? But someone has to win on that question, right? And you don't get to say in how books are, well, you get a say in how books are classified, but nobody else does. And again, obviously this would be chaos. If you could walk into a traditional card catalog system and start, penciling things in the margin of the card, I don't agree with this one, right? That would be chaos. It would be awful. In the digital world, that doesn't matter, You design your system in the right way, and it doesn't matter if people are deciding for themselves what stuff means. The social basis of social cataloging. Social software will become increasingly central to library systems. By the way, I just want to say, so none of this stuff, I know that you're not all using physical card catalog systems, but these intellectual systems have persisted, right? There's no reason why you couldn't start assigning relevancy to LCSH. There's no reason why you couldn't give something 50 subject headings. There's no reason why you couldn't allow people to change them, right? Okay. So social software, I believe, will become increasingly central to library systems. The physical library was human, okay? I feel like the first wave of technology dehumanized it. Even the card catalog, right? Obviously the librarian is human. Even the card catalog, old-fashioned card catalog, you slide them out. There was a texture to it. Okay, you couldn't write on the cards, but when you found a card that was thumbed through, you knew that people had looked at it a lot. There was something tangible. There was something human in that. And the technology just right, wiped it away, made it this mechanical thing. I think that social cataloging can rehumanize the libraries in ways that are not fundamentally new. In a small public library, if somebody said, hey, you know, I enjoyed Twilight, what else should I read? The librarian would not say, well, you know, recommending books is not part of what we do. They would say, of course they would recommend books, right? All librarians would do that. Having recommendations within the catalog is just humanizing the catalog in a way that's healthy. Everyone can help again, right? You don't need to let them do everything by any means, but everyone can help, and they get satisfaction out of that, and I think you get value. And I think local matters again, too. I really hope to see, you know, the first wave was to get all the records together in Dublin, Ohio, you know, and then everyone had the same record, right? And, you know, now doing Maori subject headings that everyone had to share those. You know, maybe the best thing is to have local communities have some subject headings that other people don't have. And I think technology has progressed to that point where the local can matter. What does social cataloging mean for libraries? First, a note of caution, okay? I want you all to think that this is an important talk. Web 2.0 is important, blah, blah, blah. But before libraries join the exciting new world of Web 0.0, join the exciting world of Web 2.0, join the exciting world of Web 1.0, okay? Library catalogs, which I see as the center, like, you know, the center of a library, in my opinion, is the stuff, okay? You're in there too, but the stuff is, you know, center of it. The library catalog is the digital representation of that stuff, okay? And the stuff is life-changing, you know? The library contains life-changing stuff. And the library catalog is this miserable struggle with technology. On the most basic level of Web 1.0, links don't work. You can't link to a library record in most systems and then pass it to a friend. By the time your friend gets it, the link won't work anymore, right? It's going to be a session-based URL. This was solved in the rest of the web in the late 90s, you know? It just was, and it is, this is the part where I get preachy, I'm sorry. It's something of an embarrassment that this is still a problem in library catalogs, right? You got to be able to bookmark things, you got to be able to share things. And then second of all, library catalogs are almost never indexed in search engines. And this is partially technical, okay? And it's partially people like OCLC saying that would be chaos if Google could index every library catalog. They can't possibly get it right. Everyone should go to WorldCat instead. And that's just been a terrible, terrible mistake. You know, I can say Christchurch, pizza, and it puts all the pizza places of Christchurch on a map. I say Christchurch, book, you know, any book I want, nothing, right? Bookstores aren't doing this, neither are libraries. You're not part of the web. And that is, you know, as much as I want you to think about Web 2.0, think about Web 1.0 first. I think that the best lessons of Web 2.0 are the lessons of Web 2.0 are the best lessons of Web 1.0. It's the same thing again, deeper. Go with the grain of the internet, right? First of all, you're not in competition with it. Second of all, be open. Libraries are running the wrong way on data. Particularly OCLC has decided that the solution to the problems of the library world is to lock the data up even more, right? Which is just running against the whole way that the web works. So this is where I get angry about OCLC. Instead of getting angry, I'll just show you this. LibraryThing, according to Compete, gets twice as much traffic as WorldCat.org, okay? I would love their budget, I'll tell you that. You know, regular people are doing something that they enjoy on LibraryThing that they're not getting out of WorldCat. Now, before my head gets too big, LibraryThing's a really small site. WorldCat happens to be on level with the social networking site Dogster.com. Is there any members of Dogster in this audience? No, right? If this were not an audience of librarians, and I said, are there any people who've been to WorldCat, not a hand would go up, right? Dogster is a social network for people who love their dogs, and it's getting as much traffic, who really love their dogs, and want to talk about their dogs. It's getting as much traffic as WorldCat, which is supposed to be the solution for libraries rather than being directly on the web. No, 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 we're going to step in.